Hey guys, I'm here with Torin Potter. He is a senior on our men's track and field team. Torin, tell me, what have you been doing these past few weeks while we've been out of school?
I have been helping my parents around the house, and I have been working with my dad on and off whenever he needs help. And I was doing schoolwork until I was told I didn't have to.
And I'm just curious, what was your reaction when the announcement came about seniors and their grades and their requirements?
I was happy because I got all my requirements through. I was in my last math class and I was passing it. So once I got told I didn't have to do any of that, I was happy because it was pretty difficult doing all my work on my phone.
Yeah. And I know that that online learning piece, it can be a challenge. I know you mentioned you were trying to do things on your phone, and that can make things quite difficult. So, plus, not to mention you said you were working 10 hours a day.
Yes, I was work. Yeah, whenever I was working with my dad, I would work 10 hours a day, 7 to 5:30, and I'd come home and help my parents around
Yeah,
the house.
I'm glad that's working out for you. Second question, talking about all that you're involved with. You play soccer, you did indoor track, you do outdoor, you're involved in ROTC. Um, what do you enjoy most about those four things? What has that taught you? What has that provided for you?
That has taught me that once you get to know a certain team, it doesn't turn into a team anymore. It turns into a family. And whenever it turns into a family, you play better with them. You enjoy being around them more. So the more you enjoy being around somebody, the better you perform, the better your mood is. Really, just it makes everything better because if you're around something you don't like, you're not going to put your full into it.
I see, and you've been a part of ROTC for 4 years now. So um, I know you mentioned something about how your parents wanted you to do that, but how do you feel? How do you feel how you have grown as an individual from being involved in that program?
I feel like I've matured a lot more and that I've become a better leader and I can provide people with more with that leadership to help them overcome something that they might not feel like they can do.
It's awesome. So, talking about track, you were coming off of a conference championship in indoor, so there was a lot of momentum heading into the spring. I know you all had I believe, two track meets, had two track meets, I should say. But talk to me a little bit about how this season was going. I know you're a pole vaulter. How are things going so far this year?
Uh, for pole vaulting, for me, it was going pretty good. I was still getting back into the rhythm of it. Uh, but the main thing was with pole vaulting, we were teaching new people how to pole vault. So once we heard that the season was being ended, we had to increase the training for them so they could continue to pole vault in the years because all our main pole vaulters are graduating and won't be there to help them. So when we told that the season was ending, we pushed our training a little bit more so they knew what to do whenever we wasn't there.
I see. Um, And talking about pole vault, when I start thinking about that event and watching it live, I can only imagine running down the runway, holding that pole, getting ready to put it into the box and get flying in the air. I was curious, what were your thoughts when you first did that for the very first time when you tried pole vault?
I was nervous, scared, but I was very ready to do it
Yeah,
because I had trained so much to get to that point to where I was allowed to do it. But still, the first jump that I ever did, I was scared because you're going really high in the air and you have no control over it unless you do what you were taught. If you do what you were taught, you'll be perfectly fine and you'll land on the mats that are very soft.
yeah.
But if you freak out, something bad could go wrong and something could go wrong and you could get hurt. But if you do everything correctly, you'll be perfectly fine.
It's good to go, and you know that's great that you guys were teaching our returners, the underclassmen. So, Torin, your future plans after graduation, what are you looking to do? Tell me about that.
Well, where I'm in the National Guard, I will be going to basic training, and then after basic training, I'll be doing my job training. Once I'm done with those two things, I'm coming back to Ashe County. I'm going to go to Wilkes Community College for 2 years. After that 2 years, I'm going to transfer to App State to get a degree in criminal justice. Once I get that degree, I am going to either become a police officer or a park ranger.
That's awesome. And the last question to finish out here, someone or some folks that you would like to say thank you or a special thanks to.
I'd like to thank the athletic administrative, because if it wasn't for them, the athletics department really wouldn't be much. It'd be very small and not as organized. And I'd also like to thank Master Sergeant Wetmore and Colonel Hollis for helping me get through times where I felt like I couldn't do it.
Great. Well, Torin, it's been a pleasure talking with you again. This is another Spring Sports Senior Spotlight. This is Torin Potter. He is a senior on our men's track and field team. Thanks, Torin.
You're welcome.